Okay. So you took Annabelle yesterday to Gail, who did some visceral work with her, but she also did some cranial work with her, I can see. Which makes sense because you just came back with was that the MRI?
MRI, yeah.
MRI of the brain, and can you explain what they found in the MRI of her brain and why we're going to do what we're doing today? And
so when she was 6 months old, her MRI was normal. So either the abnormality couldn't be seen or it's developed over the 1.5 years. The neurologist says that the abnormality is a metabolic condition, and we are due to see the metabolic specialist again on April 1st. And Annabelle has a scarring in her left eye behind the retina, and the neurologist seems to think that it's not just a scar, that it's connected with this whole metabolic issue, which they haven't seemed to find a name for yet. So.
Right. And this is the neuro-ophthalmologist?
Yeah, he's a pediatric ophthalmologist.
Who is it?
Dr. Sammy.
Okay. And is he out of St. Joseph?
Chuck.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chuck. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, the Chinese say that all the organs that are filtering organs, the eyes are very much filtering organisms. Okay. And that there becomes a type of scar tissue that forms in the eyes of people whose liver and kidneys are not filtering, and lymphatic fluids and stuff, those systems are not filtering well, that there's a lot of toxicity. Now, that being said, I've seen this in almost all the older kids with metabolic disorders. And that would go to make sense, because if there's a metabolic disorder, then the filtering organs always have issues with people with the metabolic disorders, or with the kids with metabolic disorders. And so then, therefore, it wouldn't go to make sense that he would see this kind of scarring in the eye or eyes. And then what did you say? So they found also, I'm going to jump to the EEG, that they found in the EEG abnormal
brain waves stemming from the right-hand side of the brain. And even though she's not having seizures at the moment regularly, the neurologist said that she might start having them, so we have to keep an eye on her. But she's definitely having something, what's called a myoclonic jerk. So when I rock her to sleep, and she sort of goes into the next phase of sleep, before she goes into sleep, her arms and her legs will jerk like a spasm almost, and sort of wake her back up again, before she sort of then, quite a few times before she will sort of, fall into a deeper sleep. The neurologist said that, asked me if she had gained any sort of skills, and she asked me if Annabelle was sitting yet, and I said no, she's not sitting, and I said, well, she is stronger, and I told her that we're doing different types of therapies, and she possibly talked about some regression, but I think because with metabolic issues there is regression. But I think because Annabelle hasn't gained any skills, it's hard to sort of tell if she's regressing. But I think she's not regressing, in my opinion, because of the therapies that we are doing.
I agree with you. The time that I see regression happen is if there's a trauma and they end up needing heavy doses of medications.
Mm-hmm.
If they have to go under some kind of procedure that needs anesthesia, that's when I see regression. That's when I see, like, all of a sudden, the person who they are goes. Yeah, wow. You know, even vision, hearing, everything. I mean, all the systems crash down. And I don't see any regression in her at all. I'm not talking at that level. I'm talking at any level.
Yeah.
And I do believe it's because you're doing constant work with her. And I think that you know, who knows about what the future will bring, just like who knew what Sunday would bring for me. Just for those watching, my husband played baseball, fell and broke his collarbone. So, but that's what I'm just saying. Who knows what the future will bring? But that being said, you know, and in the whole philosophy of the way the Feldenkrais work is, and the methodologies of the other works that you are doing with a similar thinking, is that we're working with her every day, and hours a day, and hours a day, and you're working motor, moving, developmentally. You're working with her systematically, and what do I mean by that? I mean on all her different systems. Could be circulatory systems, can be, you know, lymphatic systems, which is a circulatory system. So different ways that all the different, not all, you're not doing that many different, you're doing 3 different methods or techniques together, you know, so a total of 3. You've got the Feldenkrais work, and then you've got 2 other...
ABR, and then
Gail. And what Gail does. And so, and we all work together with each other.
Yeah.
There's nothing that forces anything down her throat. And it is, see, even that was just harsh, just hearing me say that. Wasn't that offensive, just hearing me say that? Seriously. So, but the thing is this is what allows us to help her develop. And the thing that needs to be respected with metabolic disorders, undue stress causes problems. Yeah. Causes the system to crash out backwards.
Definitely, yeah.
Big time. So
I mean, I've seen, you know, even our trip to England over, you know, December put so much stress on her. It took her weeks to recover from the jet lag and the, you know, whereas a normal person take 1 or 2 days to recover from a jet lag like that. Took her 3-4 weeks to come back to a sort of a regular pattern.
I mean, doesn't it make you realize how essentially important our metabolic system is, or metabolic systems, the whole way that, I mean, you can't do without it.
Yeah, totally. The only thing I'm just slightly worried about is, all these supplements that I've been giving her, they seem to be helping. You know what I mean? But, you know, I don't know.
Well, the thing that's most important is that, and this is the hardest part with supplements, and I take supplements. Took a handful this morning myself, small handful. But one of the biggest problems with supplements is, even if you swear you know where everything came from, you really still don't know where everything came from. Yeah. Even though you did your research to find it's a great company, you really don't know it's a great company because you're not the one making the product. Yeah. And so, as we know, so many products have heavy metals in them. Talk about messing up a metabolic system through the body, right? It binds to everything, makes the liver really have a hard time functioning at peak. You know, if it goes into the muscle tissue, if it goes into the blood system, and then goes into the blood-brain barrier. Yeah. So, yeah, that's is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.